Hello students. So in today's class we are going to cover two remaining operators. Those are bitwise operator and special operators. So you can see bitwise operators over here. In bitwise operator, basically the operation is being performed on bits. You know, in previous lectures when we were studying about logical operator and relational operator, at that time we were putting conditions, right? And in that condition you can use or and not and operators. But bitwise operator specifically works on bit level, right? So if you want to manipulate one by one bit, at that time you can use bitwise operators. Now which are these operators? You can see single AND, which is the symbol of AND operator and bitwise operator. Then the vertical line, that is OR operator. Then the caret sign, which is exclusive OR. So if you have some knowledge about the gates in physics, then you know that what exactly this AND, OR and exclusive OR performs. In this lecture only, we are going to see what exactly the operation or the truth table for this operations. Then after you can see left shift operator, that is if you want to shift bits by some position, right? One position or two position, at that time you can use left shift, and similarly for right shift in opposite direction. And last but not least is one's complement. So about one's complement you are going to study in detail in your subject Digital Fundamentals in semester 3. But right now just understand that one's complement is nothing but flipping of bits that we are going to study in this lecture only. Okay, so let's begin our lecture. Now, if you can see, first is bitwise AND operator. So what exactly the function of AND operator? When we were seeing the AND operator in the logical operators, at that time I have told you that AND operators will return value 1 only when the other two bits are 1. So if we are having all bits as 1, then only AND will perform. It is like a series of bulb, right? So AND operator, you can see the truth table for AND operator over here. So you can see the truth table. If any of the bit is 0, at that time the answer or output will be 0. Otherwise, if all of them bits are 1, then only you will get answer 1. That is called AND operator. So say in similar way bitwise operator works in between bits. Now you can see the code over here which is used as a program. So if you want to examine the practical that how we can use bitwise operator, you can see this code over here. Here I have declared 3 variables as unsigned integers, right? Because in logical world, right, you know, when you are dealing with digital things, signs have some kind of representation that you don't know right now, right? That you are going to study in Digital Fundamentals. So right now, just understand that you can deal with bits directly. There is no sign for these bits, right? So we have declared this as an unsigned integer. Now here I have declared A as 60, but you will see in the comment that 60 can be represented in that way in form of 8 bits. So if you are representing 60 in machine readable language, at that time it will be represented like that. Then after I have declared B as 13. So 13 can be represented in binary in that way. 0, 0, 0 and then 1, 1, 0, 1, right? So you can see binary representation of both of this number, and then I have declared C which will be used to store the result of ANDing between these two operators A and B. Now I am performing ANDing of A and B and storing the result in C. So you can see the bits over here, right? If you start from left to right, which is called LSB to MSB in digital language, so you can see last is 0, 1. So ANDing of 0 and 1 will be 0 according to the truth table. Then 0, 0, so it will be 0 itself. 1, 1, that is 1. 1, 1, that is 1. So similar way we have got the value of C in bits. Now Now this value of 8 bits will be converted to from binary to decimal. So our answer will be printed as 12. You can perform this example by yourself and check how exactly these bitwise operators work. Now after that, the second operator is OR operator. OR operator is nothing but similar with the logical OR operator, but what is the difference over here? This OR operator will work only with bits, right? So we have used single vertical line over here. Now you can see the truth table over here. In logical OR, I have already talked about this, that even if one of the input is 1, then the result will be 1. If all of the inputs are 0, then the result will be 0. So it is like the parallel connection of the bulbs. So you can see the program over here which can be used to demonstrate how exactly this OR operator can be used in practical. So you can see I have taken similar numbers, similar unsigned numbers A, B and C, and now here I have initialized C as 0. So don't confuse this that I am doing some kind of initialization in result. You can initialize result, but whenever you are performing any operation, this result will be overwritten. So by default, on the bag of or on the box of C, I am putting 0. Later, when it will be evaluated by the expression, it will be replaced with the resultant value, right? So the initialization of C is optional over here. Here I have taken similar values 60 and 30. So you can see the binary over there. But now according to the truth table, the answer of C will differ. So if I am ORing A and B, I will get 61 as the answer, because we will get binary in that way. So this is all about OR operator. Now bitwise exclusive OR is kind of exclusive OR gate. Exclusive OR gate is a kind of gate in which if both of the inputs are equal, then the answer will be 0. Otherwise, if one of the inputs are changed, then answer will be 1. So for 0, 0 and 1, 1 answer will be 0. But for 0, 1 and 1, 0, answer will be 1. So according to this truth table, if you are seeing this program, then you will see that for 60 and 13 numbers, if we are exclusive ORing them, then we will get different answer, that is 49. You can see the binary for 49 over there. I'll try to make a separate video in which I'll show you that how you can find binary of any given decimal number, or how you can convert decimal to binary number. In similar way, you can use formulas for converting octal to decimal and decimal to octal, and hexadecimal to decimal and decimal to hexadecimal. In separate video, I'll explain this. So right now, just understand that you will get this kind of result by using bitwise exclusive OR operator. Then after, there is a left shift operator. So you have series of bits, say 8 bits you are having. Suppose you want to shift this bits from in left side by some digits, by some places. At that time you can use shift operators. So how you can use shift operators? Suppose you want to shift by 2 places, then you can write the variable, that is as you can see here I have written 5 left shift operator 2, that means binary of 5 will be shifted 2 places on left direction. So you will get something like this. I'm going to give you one program which will show this, that how exactly we are getting this. But right now just understand. Now this is the rule. If you are performing this, you will see that when the number of times I am shifting left, that means number of times I am multiplying with 2. So if I am shifting left by 1 step, that means I am multiplying by 2. If I am shifting by 2 steps, that means I am multiplying by 4. Similarly, if I shift like 3 steps, that means I am multiplying by 8. So this is the thing. If you are left shifting, that means you are multiplying number with 2. So you can directly give the answer. Now here I am showing you that how exactly you can shift operators. You can see the operation being performed over here. So this is the operation. This is how the operation look like. You can see decimal 5 is shifted to one place. At that time it will be decimal 10, and when it is again shifted to the it is shifted to left, it will be like say 20. So every time we are shifting it left, it will be multiplying by 2, right? And the other digits or other bits at right side will be of 0. So we are padding it with zeros. So here 2 zeros will be padded because we have shifted it to 2 times. You can consider this figure over here. Then after, right shift is similar to left shift, but here it will all the operation will be done in right side. You can see the sign over here for right shift and how you can use expression for right shift. Similarly, as I have told you that in left shift, whenever you are shifting left by one step, that means you are multiplying with 2. That means in right shift it will be opposite, and it is kind of dividing by 2. So at each step you are shifting right, that means you are dividing a number by 2. So if I am shifting 5, that means first I am dividing by 2. If I am shifting right to 2 times, that means I am dividing by 4, respectively for 8 and so on. So you can consider the figure over here. Here I am shifting it right, and you can see what are the changes. It is similar to left shift, but here I am doing everything in right direction. So you can see for decimal 5, first I will get decimal 2, and if I divide 2 by 2, I will get 1 as the answer for this operation. So this is all about the left shift and right shift. Now I am going to talk about the ones complement. Right now just understand that ones complement in digital fundamental is nothing but flipping the numbers. So if the bit is flipping the bits, so if the bit is 0, that means I am giving output opposite to it, that is 1. And if the bit is 1, then I am giving output opposite to it, that is 0. So if I have given A as 5, then the binary of A will be 0, 0, 0, 5 times 0, 1, 0, 1. So its flipped output will be, or say ones complement will be 5 times 1, 0, 1, 0. So if you want this kind of output, you can use ones complement as a bit operator. You can perform all of these programs by yourself, right, to examine. I have already demonstrated the program for first way. Similar way, you can perform programs for left shift, right shift and ones complement. Now then after, there is the operator called spatial operators. So spatial operators, as you can see on the screen, first is comma operator, then size of operator, then star and operators, which is basically used in pointer, and then dot and arrow operator, which are going to be used in structure. So last two operators, how we can use, I am going to talk about that in the respective chapters of pointers and structures. So till then, just wait for this for the explanation of this operators. But right now, just understand about comma operators. So basically, comma operator is used to separate two expressions. So you can see the example over here. If you want to separate the declaration, or if you want to separate the values, you can use comma operators. And you know that in declaration also, for declaring so many variables or initializing so many variables, we can use comma operator to write a code in single line. Then after, what exactly is size of operator? Size of operator is basically used to determine the size of any data type or any variable. So if you have declared variable as integer, then you can directly write int a equal to a, then size of a, or you can directly write size of int, and you can print that size and get the size of that data type in your machine, or that variable in your machine. So this is how you can use size of operator. So this is all about the spatial operators. The other two remaining operators I'm going to talk about in the respective chapters of pointers and structures. So this is all about operators. Operators are really very important to study. So make sure that you go through all this video throughoutly